Hey advisors, it's Greg Skogsberg at TWH. It's newsletter time again. It's August 2026. Annuity business has been booming. We are doing tons of new applications, got tons of cases in process. Don't know exactly what the switch was, but public interest in annuities seems to be, maybe at an all-time high. And we're seeing bigger and bigger case sizes. We're seeing more cases over 500,000, more cases over 1 million. So it's a good time to be selling annuities, and annuities are in a really good spot now too. The rates aren't quite as good as they were a couple of months ago, but they're still better than we have seen in 8 years. They are really good. I want to tell you about one annuity in particular. We like to highlight an annuity every now and then, and for the last couple months, there have been one or two that I thought were worth mentioning to you. Now, this one comes from an A-rated carrier, and percent commission, and has a 10.25% annual point-to-point S&P cap without a fee or anything like that. So 7.5% commission, 10.25% 1 year annual point-to-point. I think it's 21.5% 2 year. There's a 60% participation rate on the S&P 500 for 1 year and a 75% participation rate on the 2 year. It's crazy good. And there's 8 other different indexes in there. There's NASDAQ, there's Bitcoin. This is worth checking out. No bells, no whistles, no bonuses, no riders. 10% free withdrawals available after the first year. It's a 10% or a 10-year surrender. And it's got a 5.05% fixed rate. 5.05% fixed rate. I want to make a little comment about bonuses, because there are bigger bonuses available right now in every state in the nation than we have ever seen. Not in California, but I just did a case with a guy in New Mexico, and the bonus, now this is on the advisor's own money. So he got to pick which annuity he was putting his own money into. 34% bonus on this annuity. We've never seen bonuses that big. It's huge. And that's a cash bonus. That's not a lifetime income rider bonus. But I want to caution you about bonuses. Remember, my philosophy is, for my own clients in my own book of business, when I'm selling an annuity, I only use a bonus product in 2 different situations. One is Roth conversions. If I'm doing a Roth conversion and the client wants to do a very big chunk of their IRA right now and convert it and start their Roth account, and they're going to take a big hit in the taxes, then I will explore doing a 20 or 30% bonus with them. But I always tell them, you're going to suffer with growth annually because of the lower caps. If you've got a great big bonus, the crediting methods are going to be weaker. And I always show them the difference. Here's the one with the big bonus. Here's the one with no bonus or a smaller bonus. And let's play out the potential growth over the next 20 years and see which one of those horses wins the race. Sometimes, though, the client will say, I don't care. I'm going to pay 30% in taxes to do this Roth conversion. If I can get a 20% bonus to help cover that loss, I don't mind that I'm going to get a little bit less growth. That's okay. The other time that I use bonuses is if we have to overcome a surrender penalty. There are still a lot of annuities out there that were sold to people that 10, 15 years ago that still have surrender penalties of 7% or higher. And their caps are down to 1% per year. And some of them have rider fees that are at 1% or higher. So their money is not growing. Some of it's actually losing money every year. And they want out of that thing. But there's a surrender penalty. So in that situation, I will use a bonus to overcome the amount of loss for the surrender fee. But I try to get as close to that as I can. If there's a 7% surrender, I try and find an 8% bonus or something close to it, because they'll like the bonus up front, but by the second or even the first anniversary, their memory fades. And the fact that there was a bonus up front is gone. They kind of remember that, oh, that's right, but look at my growth. I'm getting almost nothing. I'm only getting 2 or 3%. I have this other annuity that didn't have a bonus on it, and it made 8% last year. How come the difference? And then I have to remind them, remember we talked about this. But they don't care. Now they're just unhappy with the annuity, and they're looking at the next 8 years of the surrender penalty that they have, and they're mad at me. So I don't use bonus products unless I absolutely have to, and only when there's a Roth conversion or a surrender penalty to overcome. Okay, that's not on the cover of the newsletter, but I had that conversation with several people since the bonus levels have gotten higher and higher and higher. And then we get a lot of phone calls from agents saying, man, is this really, I want to sell that. And I try to help them understand, if you sell that, make sure and help your client understand how little growth they're going to get. And I just want you to be aware of that too. Now, there's another thing that I need you to be aware of, that we all need to be very aware of, because it's already in place. And that's the NAIC Rule 275. Nobody's heard of that, yet it's been in place for several years now. But the NAIC, that's the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. Okay, what's that? For every state and Washington, D.C., and 5 U.S. territories, there is a commissioner for all of the insurance being done in that area, in their state or territory. And there's a national association of those 56 different people, and they help govern the regulations that keep us safe, protect us as insurance advisors, work with the carriers, protect the clients, and they have a rule in place about what we need to be doing to be compliant with the best interest of our clients on every annuity sale that we make. But most of us insurance advisors are not even aware of this Rule 275. So I want to start trying to help get this message out there, because Rule 275 says there are 14 different things that we have to consider with every client every time we sell an annuity. Things like, how old are they? What's their annual income? Their financial situations and needs, their financial experience, their insurance needs. Do they have insurance? Why don't they have insurance? Why do they have too much insurance? I mean, I've got a list of them here. Financial objectives, the intended use of the annuity. Why are we putting money into this annuity? What's it going to be? What's your timeline? What are your existing assets? What's your risk tolerance? 14 different points that are laid out that we have to have considered and document that we considered whenever we sell an annuity. There are also 4 care obligations, meaning that we have to make sure that we're taking care to look out for the best interest of these clients. And those care obligations are, you must understand the product features, you must know the client profile, have a reasonable basis for the recommendation, and communicate that to the client. You also have a disclosure obligation. You must disclose your relationship, your role, how you're compensated, and any potential conflicts. Specifically in the details, if you have a relative that works for the insurance carrier that you're recommending an annuity from, you need to disclose that. It gets that specific. And then documentation obligations. For each state, you must maintain documents around how you determined what the best annuity was, why, what the client's 14 different points of data are, and then maintain those records. I think in California, it's 5 years. We keep ours forever. We just keep all of my client sales going back to 2005. I have just digitally stored and backed up. So I want you to be aware of all of these, because I have recently learned that the National Association of Insurance Commissioners is building an auditing task force nationwide that is going to start randomly selecting advisors and making them produce documents and supporting, why did you make this recommendation? What were the client's 14 data points? Where is the documentation to show that you are looking out for this client's best interest? So I want you to be aware of that. Now, in addition to the random auditing, I've been told they also are going to randomly pull cases with carriers and make the carrier support that all of the obligations have been met, and that each situation, each annuity that was sold was truly in the best interest of the client. So we need to be aware of these things. not to be afraid of. Let's not get scared about this. The more regulations and compliance that we have to adhere to, the stronger hold we get to keep on selling index annuities with just an insurance license, because every 4 or 5 years, they try to take them away from insurance advisors and give them to the securities registered guys. They've tried it over and over again, 151A, the Department of Labor thing. They'll try again. So these rules are going to help us stay in the business of selling index annuities to our clients. But we got to play the game. If you have more questions, simply Google NAIC Rule 275. NAIC Rule 275. All of the information is there. And then if you need some additional resources, you want to get some continuing education or additional training, just have questions about it, shoot us an email, give me a call. We'll be happy to help any way we can. All right. I'm Greg Skogsberg. We're TWH, the #1 concierge IMO in the United States since 1993. Look forward to talking to you.